Hi! Welcome to Far Cry 4. We've just been captured by Pagan Min and his gods. There's about to be 2.5 minutes of cutscene, but this is the mission, Don't Look Down. I will see you on the other side. Enjoy.
You left the bag on his head? Well, can he breathe? Did you at least punch holes so he doesn't suffocate? Hello! Did we enjoy our time with the CIA? Welcome to Durghesh. I apologize for the Spartan accommodations, but you have been a naughty little shit, haven't you? Gallivanting about with a golden path. And poor Paul. Are you still sore about what he did with your little monkey friend? What was his name? Deadpan, dipshit, doorknob? I'm sorry for your ennui. But let me ease him into this, Yuma. You're about to mind-fuck the poor boy. Perhaps a little sugar on your shit sandwich?
Whatever, you've seen him. He's still breathing. Now go away, I've got work to do.
Fine. But I want him alive, with all the bits that count intact. One last thing. Now, RJ, I know this is hard, but consider this tough love, prison love. After all, you have a suite with a spectacular view. Oh, and one final piece of advice. I wouldn't sleep too close to the edge. Whatever you say.
Get on the floor.
Why?
Get on the fucking floor!
I'm on the floor.
What are you doing? What is that?
What was it?
AJ. Falling dream? A lot of people fall around here. Most of them don't wake up. That's what this place does to weak men.
So, yeah, you know, that wasn't weird at all. What's interesting is... well, I don't know if it's interesting, but... these guys are completely new to the story. What's interesting is... I died in a second. You'll see when. And rather than cut it and pretend that I came from the beginning, I left it in because actually Yuma says something different on the second death. Well, that's, yeah, not healthy. Although you may see why I was very tempted to run off the side as well when I encountered the same thing. There's a grappling hook, and you'll notice it says now on the top left, build a grappling hook 0 out of 2. I didn't notice that for some time. So, yeah, I was kind of oblivious as to what I was supposed to be doing. The cage has no locked door, but the Rakshasa are waiting for you. So yeah, Yuma, well, you'll see. That dude banging his head against the wall, not a good man. Dark scene. And then I thought, well, maybe I do. Maybe it's as simple as using the wingsuit, because I hadn't seen the build a grappling hook prompt.
It wasn't me, AJ.
What?
I didn't kill Mohan, despite what you might have heard. If I could have killed anyone, it would have been Ishwari, your whore of a mother.
Fuck you.
Just give up. Jump, please. If you do, I'll scatter her ashes for you.
See? Different. So I was thinking maybe if I die again, I'll get, again, a different message, but honestly, couldn't be bothered in the long run. So...
The people who carved this city into the rock were strong. Followers of Kalanag. They were a great civilization. Unlike the pathetic rabble Kairat is today.
So I said in a previous message, perhaps she's Japanese. I'm thinking she's probably not now, given her knowledge of Kalanag and everything else. I'm not sure how this qualifies as a city carved into the rock, more like a few caves. And you'll see that there's a Rakshasa there. And since you don't have a single weapon, no knife, no gun, no nothing, mate, it's just a bit of a mad dash. I haven't edited this at all. It's not sped up. All the blurring and smooching you're seeing, I'm not sure what smooching is just what's there. And do you remember that dude running out before and running over the side? Yeah, that's where that was. So you can kind of understand why. I tried holding Y to heal, but nothing happened, and then I was there and tried again, and it seems like you do keep your syringes. Anyway, running back to where we were, I figured it was important to come around, but you didn't want to see me walking the same path again. It seems like maybe you can follow the black thing on the floor. I'm not sure, but in here, I think it's in here. Yeah, there's a dude there, and you can actually see the thing in his back flashing, but I didn't notice the first time. And then as soon as you get through there, you'll see the yellow arrow, but again, I didn't really notice that. So then there was a lot of running around, which just took me back to where I had come from before I noticed the little yellow arrow. There we are. And grabbed this. Now sadly, this is part of the grappling hook. Well, that's not the sad bit. Sadly, it can't be used as a weapon, which seems ridiculous, right? It's got like it's hard and it's metal and it's got a spike on it. At the very least, you could use it as a club. But it keeps saying you don't have a kukri when you meet those dudes. Anyway, that's opened another door. So it's back here to the main entrance. And then you see the black trails.
Pagan was my king. I would have done anything for him. But then your mother led him astray. I tried to warn him, but he wouldn't listen. And his love for Ishwari eventually broke him.
His love for Ishwari eventually broke him. So Yuma's kind of giving you snippets of background story. I've brightened these caves up a little bit, just because they were super, super dark. Hopefully it's enough. But yeah, so a new path has been opened, and these black trails are kind of leading this way rather than that way, but still I decided to go that way, and unsurprisingly it's dead end. There's some quite nice detail in here, but again I'd struggle to call it a city, but that's just being picky, I guess. But apparently carved by Kalanak, who you may have seen from a previous video, is the dude in Shangri-La, who you possess. Sent by his king to defeat, or to find Shangri-La, but ends up meeting the Rakshasa and has to defeat them. Anyway, that was the rope, the second part of the grappling hook. There we are, so now it's just time to escape. There's a demon, naughty demon, and you still can't kill him, because despite having a grappling hook with a big metal spike, you're not allowed to use it. He's just chilling in there, you may see him in the distance. Doesn't want to come up and see me for some reason, not sure why. So it's just back the long way. And since we've come through this way and there's not a lot to see, I've sped it up a little bit. There we are. And there's the grappling hook, and then it's just a question of lowering yourself down bit by bit. And it's actually pretty easy to die here.
As he spiraled into despair, I found my true calling. I found Kalanak. When I reach Shangri-La, I will defeat Rakshasa, and I will be reborn, just as Kalanak was reborn. And I will accomplish what Pagan failed to do, and build a truly great civilization here in Kyrat!
So she's not mad at all, obviously. She's quite clearly been, and every time, I died like a couple of times on this, and every time I came back past that bit, I wandered over and went, oh god, yeah, no, it falls apart, doesn't it? The deaths occurred, one was right at the top where I let go too early, and the other was a transfer, I think, coming up somewhere around here. There's a couple of quite cheeky transfers where the rope, as you'll see like here, doesn't reach all the way to the bottom, so you need to either swing onto a platform, I think this one's a swing, or find another grapple point that moves you over and then allows you to go down. There's the swing there. And then a grapple down here. And of course when we get to the bottom that's still not it. But you'll see. Thanks Mr. Rakshasa. Rakshasa. I don't know how Yuma makes that word sound, puts enough emphasis on the sa at the end, because I go Rakshasa, and it's like Rakshasa, but she's like Rakshasa. I don't know. Sorry. Oh. Enunciation of words. So yeah, no, the Rakshasa, whatever it probably wasn't, was it? I don't know. Anyway, he cut the rope. I think the syringe made us hallucinate, right? So I think we were just seeing regular guards. But we are now at a prison camp. Died a couple of times here having a look around. So this is the third attempt at it. I made it as far as the first dog. So while it looks like I'm exploring for the first time here, I'm really not. There's the dog down there. Now you do, I'm not sure if I mentioned this at the beginning, but while you lose everything else, you do keep your syringes, which is quite nice. There's a knife there, and then there's another knife down in this body. There may, in fact, if I'd stood up, there may have been more. But as it is, I've got two. Now, there's a dog, a heavy, and a regular guy here. And then further down there's a bit more. There's also a note you can read that says something about a bell tower with weapons up here, but I didn't read it on this pass, but then it's repeated a little further down. There's the dog, two knives to finish him off, and pick them straight back up, because the dog is the biggest problem, because he spots you obviously, and then the other guards are alerted to your presence. But then I thought, well actually, why don't I, and I wanted to look in here to see if there are any weapons hidden. There were not. Then I thought, well, why don't I try and take out that one weak guard? Because obviously, one of the first tries I chucked a knife into a heavy, and it didn't kill him. That was surprising. And he thinks he's seen me, or at least he's on patrol. So I'm just trying to keep out of line of sight. I think he's turned around now. But there's this guy here. Oh, do I head all... No, sorry, I'm talking nonsense. I head all the way down and then see these guys and go, oh god, yeah, no, that's not for me just yet. I wanted to pop up here, but again there's it's just a fenced off dead end with not much you can get to. I was just hoping to find like a gun or something lying against the side, but of course it being a prison with those other guys working, who presumably have made it down themselves, and rather than being sent back up have just been told to work hard labour here. I was thinking maybe there was, on this playback, I was thinking maybe there was a gun in that little room as well, and why didn't I go in and explore that room? But you'll see I do in a second. It's just literally an empty room. So here's this guy here, and I got two knives up. Fortunately I think it only takes one. Yeah. And then he drops his gun, but of course I'm not carrying any ammo. So I've only got half a magazine full of ammo, which is frustrating, A, because it just doesn't seem very realistic. Like, you would expect these guards to at least have a full magazine. See, there is the room there, there's really nothing at all in it. And I was kind of hoping that a few bullets put into a headshot on the heavy might allow me to steal his ripper or whatever he's got, but no. So now I'm completely out of ammo. There we go, yeah, nothing in there. Now I'm completely out of ammo. I've got a gun, but yeah, and a heavy that I've shot a couple of times. He's clearly very angry with me, and everyone else is alerted. But actually that worked in my favour because those guys didn't see me. The heavy didn't really get a bead on me, and so they're kind of climbing up here, but actually most of them are just taking the regular path up and aren't really heading towards me because they don't know where I am. Now we've got a couple of guys down there, and I think one climbs up right in front of me here, which allows me to knife him in the face and get a second gun with a little bit more ammo. There's a few guys over there who've seen me, so at this point I'm just legging it. You can see the other prisoners have just got their head down. And I was kind of hoping they'd get involved, but they don't. And then it's along here on the right, because I'd completely forgotten about reading that note up near the top in the first attempt at this. So I'm sneaking around here and I see a body there, and I'm like, oh, maybe there's a gun or something there, but there isn't. There's a note. And so I have a look at the note, and sure enough it's like, we're going to delay our trip down. The guards found my tools and took them. They also confiscated the weapons and put them in the nearby bell tower. Ta-da! Nearby bell tower. So I figured I would, my best bet would be to go and have a little look around there. chap there, headshot, fine. Bit more ammo. All good. And you might hear some of the voices in the background as well, although obviously I've dulled it as I normally do. And I was just trying to find my way up here. There's a little climbing path there. And then basically around here, apart from this little fella. Hey dude! Bye dude! There is a huge amount of ammo. And a shotgun, which is kind of the only new weapon. If you've already killed some enemies like I have, then you've probably got the Smug and the assault rifle. There's a lot of dogs here, as you can see. Not sure what they were designed for, apart from to be a pain in the butt. I guess it just meant that stealthing was always going to be harder because they were on patrol. But I don't remember seeing them all, so I'm not sure where they came from. But anyway, great chance to catch up on ammo here. The thing that's, I guess, interesting about the dogs that I ignored is the fact that of course they're going to be dropping bait. So maybe I should have skinned a couple of them and just chucked in some bear grenades and hope for the best. There's the shotgun. And I do understand why they give you weapons with half ammo, because they don't want to make it too easy, but it just seems unrealistic. I would rather they reduce the amount of ammo you pick up, and I should have done a death from above there. I don't know why I'm standing there shooting those guys. A death from above and a chain takedown would have been a brilliant experience, and they would have been quickly and silently dealt with. So that was really foolish. At this point I'm just panicking. You can see when I panicked I tend to stay in one place and just ease out and let them come to me. Sped that up because you just didn't need to see me looting bodies particularly. And then up here there's a sniper who's seen me, so I'm trying to work out how to get up there. There's a running jump across there, and then a grapple, or 2 grapple points, one on either side. And then a little climb up here. And I thought I was actually at the level of the sniper because I didn't look up before I went round the corner. See? And then he sees me, obviously, through the crack. But neither of us can shoot each other, because there's wood in the way that won't allow bullets to pass through. It seems quite random what scenery lets bullets through and what doesn't on this. Some wood does, some tarpaulin does. All the ropes and pillars, which aren't actually, which are thin, tend to. But it's strange. Anyway, got a Riper Sniffle now, so business is back on. I'm not sure what that was, actually. I think maybe a tiger, not a tiger. Like probably a bear or a snow leopard. But I'm all up after the last mission with Willis baiting some leopards. I'm kind of all up on leopards now, so we're in good shape. And then it's just a question of, I don't quite know how I got a headshot on that heavy so well. Maybe this is the Z93, I'm not sure, because the Z93 is stupidly overpowered. And then it's just a pretty simple zip line down. A little bit of looting, and we're off. I had a look at the season pass for Far Cry earlier. It doesn't look, actually, even though I bought it, which I kind of regret now, it doesn't look like there's a lot of great stuff on it. There's a new multiplayer mode. I think you get the missions, the pre-order bonus missions, eventually, and then there's some Yeti stuff and some multiplayer stuff. Hopefully the Yeti stuff's going to be good, and the reason I mention this is... there's a Yeti. It's an abominable snowman. That's kind of all that's made of it. It's just hinted that these things exist, right? And presumably are not terrible things, otherwise I'd be eaten and not rescued. I can only presume he put me somewhere where I'd be found by Amita. And it would be interesting to see actually if at the end of this you're found by Sabal, if you've been doing Sabal's choices in the story missions.
He's up. Congratulations, you're officially the luckiest man I know. I searched for you for a week in enemy territory. It's a good thing we found you before you froze to death.
Where's Sabal?
Probably doing what he does best. Sitting in a dark room praying to dead gods for your safe return. I've been watching you for 3 days, but you're awake now and you seem okay. I have to go. There's still a war going on. Sabal was right about one thing. The Golden Path needs you. And I'm happy to have you with me.
So that's that. I guess, as I said, I'm not sure if Sabal would be there if you've been helping him with his path. Probably not. It seems like a kind of a minor detail. Good to know we've still got the ashes. I'm still not exactly sure where we're storing those. Presumably Mr. Chiffon has made some sort of amazing carrying device. But that's it. Don't look down. Mission completed. On the left is the last mission of Act 2, Death from Above. That's the final Willis mission, as far as I'm aware. Maybe he'll crop up later. I kind of hope he does. And on the right, the Rakshasa, which is my second, or I think basically the second Shangri-La mission. We get a bow. I decided to go and do that before exploring the North Island in more detail, also because it unlocks Huntsman, and as a result, breath control, which are two quite useful skills. Anyway, that's it for now. See you very soon. Bye.